Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Behind the Beat. My name is Chris Langan. Today we are checking out Big Fat Snare Drum. All right, guys. So thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to do a product demo review on Big Fat Snare Drum. Some of you guys may have seen this or heard this. It's becoming pretty popular amongst drummers, and I could totally see why. Just a little bit about the company. Big Fat Snare Drum, established in 2014, Medford, Massachusetts. So, what is this thing, you might be asking? Big Fat Snare Drum is a dampening tool for your snare. You can effortlessly turn your snare into that vintage, beefy, 70s sounding snare drum that we all grew up listening to, all right, on soft rock radio and stuff like that. So, it's awesome. The cool thing about it is, unlike tape or gel or a wallet, this lowers the fundamental pitch by simply just picking it up, putting it on the drum. All right, no more sticky tape or gels that get all gunked up. It's super easy. You could, between songs, you can take it on, put it back, put it on, take it back off, switch it out effortlessly. So the cool thing about it is it's made of a patented plastic and rubber material. Kind of has the feel of a drum head. Now, the outer ring is made of a rubber, and that's used to add some weight to it. So when you put it on the head, it's going to stay there. No matter how hard you hit, it's not going to go flying off on you like a Remo ring or anything like that. So the rubberized gasket. Now, right in this gasket here, they've got a little cutout for your thumb, which I think is awesome. It makes it very easy to just pick it up and take it right off. Now, there are two different versions of the Big Fat Snare Drum. I have what they call Steve's Donut Hole. And that's basically what you're seeing here, because it's got this hole cut out. The other version is basically the same thing without the hole cut out. So what the differences are, well, number one, the one without the hole cut out is going to offer more surface area. It's going to give more of a dampening effect on your snare. The one that I have, the reason I chose to go with this one is because I think it still gives a very good dampening effect, but it allows you to actually hit your snare's head. So it's going to offer you more rebound by cutting that hole out. The one that does not have the cutout is going to hinder your rebound just a little bit. Not much, but just a little bit. But I like the idea of being able to touch the actual surface of my snare drum head. So that's why I went with this. What we're going to do today is I've got 3 different snare drums lined up, all tuned differently. We've got one tuned very high, one tuned medium, and one very low. So I'm going to take Big Fat Snare Drum. We're going to play the drum without it and then with it so that you can hear what they sound like. So let's get into our first snare drum. All right, guys, the first snare I've got is a 1974 Ludwig Supraphonic. It's got a very old head on it. It's an Aquarian Performance with power dot, so it's already got a little bit of dampening on it. It's a vintage drum, so what I did was tuned this one super high because why put a dampening ring that we're supposed to use to get that vintage effect on an already vintage drum. I'm going to do that on a newer drum, okay? So we've tuned the Supraphonic super high. Here's what it sounds like without the ring. time for the big fat snare drum. Here we go. All right, guys, let's go to snare number 2. Snare number 2 is a pearl stainless steel shell. Here's what it sounds like without the big fat snare drum. Okay, this drum is our medium tuned drum, and I've got an Evans heavyweight on for the batter head. Here it is with big fat snare drum. All right, guys, let's go to our third and final snare. This snare is a Yamaha Stage Custom Birch. We've got an Evans G2 coated on this one, and this is our lowest pitch snare. All right, and now for the big fat snare drum. All right, guys. Well, as you can see, with 3 different snares, 1 wood shell, 2 metal shells, tuned at all different pitches, each time you can see how much lower the fundamental pitch of the snare drops using the big fat snare drum. I think it made all 3 of the drums sound great. It's got a real warm, fat tone to it now. And it's super easy. I mean, you pick it up, take it off. I sometimes will throw it on my floor tom. I'll give you a little taste of what that sounds like here. Here it is without big fat snare drum. Now, I do have a little bit of tape on there just to forewarn you. But here it is with big fat snare drum. It's almost like a bass drum. It's thuddy. I love it. Okay. Really, really cool product. I'm curious to see what the other one sounds like, the one without the hole cut out in it. When I went to purchase this, I knew that I was going to want, to be able to strike the actual head of the drum. That's why I went with this. But I'm sure it's just as good, if not better. So, guys, tell me what you think in the comments below. I really, really like it. The cool thing about it is they offer it in a bunch of different sizes. So if you have different snare drums, the sizes go 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So, I mean, you could use these on toms and whatever. So I really dig it. I think it's cool. I think it gives a really unique, fat, warm tone to your snares, and it's really easy to use. So for more information, and if you'd like to purchase this item, you can go to bigfatsnaredrum.com. I will put the link down below in the description. And that is it for today, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more gear reviews, lessons, covers. Make sure you follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And check out my website, chrislangendrummer.com. Until next time, we'll see you guys at the next lesson.